The Demerara Cricket Board election was quickly followed by that of the Guyana Cricket Board, a clear sign of Mr. Anand Sinasi doing his own thing, according to a representative from the East Coast Board, Mr. Ezzy Peters. With years passing without these two elections being held, and the jury still out on constitutionality of the Cricket Administration Act, Peters finds this latest turn of events interesting. On December 16 last, the court decided it was going into recess until January the 13th. And while that was ongoing, an AGM and elections for the Gcb and the Demerara Cricket Board elections were called under the very act the Gcb is challenging. A frustrated Peters, who represents the East Coast Cricket Board, is accusing Secretary of the Gcb, Mr. Anand Sinasi, of being the man behind all this drama.
Guyana Cricket Board election. Why Mr. Sinasi just run keeping secret election where he keep at Wales Committee Centre ground only with 7 persons. 7 persons. And that is Mr. Sinasi cronies them who always support it, who they behind it, and who they for corruptness in this cricket arena. Because look at it, East Coast Cricket Board wasn't no representative at on behalf of East Coast Cricket Board as an executive. What they do, them form a parallel cricket board on the East Coast to destroy East Coast Cricket Board, which in the parallel cricket board run by Anil Prasad, Jitlal, Gcb'S, a few of them. And all of them was get adjunct by the High Court. Mr. Cummins, all was get adjunct by the High Court.
Just recently, attorney-at-law Audrey Gossi debuted a notice by the Guyana Cricket Board for the holding of an annual AGM as a mockery of Guyana's judicial system. As it stands, Peters explained that the East Coast Cricket Board is still up and running, but the parallel committee set up by the Sinasi-controlled Gcb is completely sidelining the ECB, and this does not argue well for the development of cricket on the East Coast. Peters further explained that many talents on the East Coast have met the requirements for national selection.
Select any person from the East Coast Cricket Board, that East Coast Cricket Board don't select nobody for send to Demerara Guyana Cricket Board. These people are, like I told, these people set up a parallel cricket board on the East Coast named the East Coast Cricket Committee. They select players and they keep their own trials. And they select people. So the people who play the East Coast Cricket Board don't get the opportunity to get select, like Zaire Mohammed.
When contacted on Friday, Mr. Anand Sinasi declined to comment on the issue. For HGP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.